by a very special guest. Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Conservative Circle. I am so glad to have two guests on today's Jared Trinidad and Lily Farrow. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for having us.
Sure, that was awesome. That was an awesome intro.
I know, right? Yeah. So actually, shout out to Meisel. He is the editor known as the Tech Boy. So yeah, shout out to him for actually making the intro, and you'll see the outro at the end. So great to have y'all. Today we're talking about the war involving the U.S., Iran, and Israel. And the big question is, does this actually follow the idea of America first? Jared, I want to start with you. Does this follow America first?
I would say that probably not the way we envision America first. It's always putting Americans first, putting the American country first, and being in the Middle East, helping out with a Middle Eastern problem, helping an issue that's overseas doesn't seem like it benefits Americans. Are we doing it for the American people? I would say it doesn't represent America first at all.
Lily, what do you think?
I have to agree with Jared. I don't think this is an America first war at all. I personally believe this is an Israel first war, but I guess we're gonna get more into that as we continue.
Yeah, so next week, I mean, we'll talk a little bit about it more. We'll be talking about Israel more. But today we're talking more about the money that is involved in this. So I think already we've spent 18 billion on this war. I believe that's correct. Correct me if I'm wrong. I just searched it up today. So why are we going into this war? Because we do not have the money. We're spending money that could be spent somewhere else. Lily, where could this money be spent?
I think we see a lot of problems around our country with jobs and healthcare and homeless veterans. I think there's things that we could be spending these billions on in our own country instead of sending billions off to a war that seems like it's never going to end. We saw an ending today, but I really don't personally believe it. We know that war costs billions. We've seen examples of this in the Iraq War, Afghanistan, which had no real lasting change. If you ask any Iraq War veteran, I know my dad is personally one. He doesn't believe that we should have been in Iraq. He doesn't believe we should have been in Afghanistan. They led to no real regime change, but cost Americans billions, if not trillions of dollars.
Yeah. And then, do you think Americans even realize how much we're spending in this war? How much this war is costing?
I don't think so. I live in Las Vegas. Our gas was around $3.40 before the start of this war. It's almost hit $6. And that might have some in turn to do with the oil refineries leaving California, but a lot of it has to do with the war. We've seen states all across the country, their gas prices jumping. I know that Jared lives in LA, so I'm very curious to hear about the gas prices over there. But I don't think Americans realized how much of their taxpayer dollars are going to funding what seems like an endless war over some foreign conflict that seems to have more to do with Israel than us.
Yeah, I know for here in Florida, which we're pretty lucky to have lower cost, but our gas is actually at $3.40 now, which was what yours was at. Now it's up. Well, Jared, what's your gas at?
Dude, we're at $8. It's insane.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
I would say partially half and half. I would say half of it has to do with the war, half of it has to do with Gavin Newsom. I would say California is one of those special states where we're affected both by state and country.
So before I go on to America First, asking if this war is America First, let's see what Donald Trump had to say. Now, this was him on the campaign, what he promised us. So let's just listen to that clip.
That we've been in, I've gotten us out of so many.
We don't want to get into wars. We're tired of fighting. I'm the only president in the last 84 years that didn't start a war. Under Trump, we will have no more wars, no more wars, no more wars. We will have prosperity and peace. We will have prosperity and we will have peace.
Remember, I'm the president of peace.
They said, he will start a war. I'm not going to start a war. I'm going to stop wars. He's going to start a war. I said, no, no, no. My rhetoric is going to keep us out of wars, and that's what happened. My proudest legacy will be that of a peacemaker. That's what I want to be, a peacemaker. We will measure our success not only by the battles we win, but also by the wars that we end, and perhaps most importantly, the wars we never get into. Our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. He's weak and he's ineffective. I believe that he will attack Iran sometime prior to the election because he thinks that's the only way he can get elected. Isn't it pathetic?
Well, isn't it pathetic? Jared, what do you have to say to that?
So he was partially right on the last bit. I mean, he did say the current president wanted to start a war because he thought that was the only way he would win.
And he was talking about Obama there.
Right, but he did it after he won, so that's a bit different. But he's not wrong about the deal part. I mean, it is partially his fault. It partially isn't. If we look back, Joe Biden, Trump, Obama, Bush era, going back years ago, 5 presidents ago, the whole deal, the reason why he's talking about a negotiation or why we had this war in the first place is because of the petrodollar deal. And that was done when the Saudi Arabians actually made a deal with the United States of turning the value of oil into dollars. And with that, it would come at the cost of protecting the Middle East using American soldiers. So I would say that it's not something where technically we wanted to go to war with Iran or technically we sent them out. It's more like we signed the contract where if they happen to go to war, like we saw Iran and Israel started, we had to get involved to protect the Middle East, which I think is a deal we should have pulled out years ago. I think it's something we should have changed to where if there was a war, NATO should have been the one to send their troops. I think NATO should have their own soldiers. There's no reason why America should hold NATO, fund NATO, and then we end up helping everybody else.
But should we be protecting Israel? Should we be in this war because of Israel?
No. If anything, if we're in any war, it should be for our own benefit. I'm one of those people who's really strong-minded that we shouldn't be the global police. We shouldn't be the ones looking out for everybody else. If it directly doesn't affect us, even though it might be for the benefit of other people, there's no reason why we should get involved.
Lily?
I think I completely agree. I think people underestimate how strong Israel is. We've seen immense military technology come out of them. We've seen immense military power come out of them with the IDF. I think they are perfectly capable of protecting themselves. And if it did somehow benefit us, then sure, maybe, but you'd need the public's opinion on that. And I think that's where majority of the America First stuff comes from. It's policies that align more with public interest. And the public opinion is that we don't want to be at war with Iran. We heard Trump say many times that he was going to be the president of peace. He didn't want any new wars. Where are the wars that he stopped? Ukraine and Russia are still fighting. He started a war in Iran. It took years to calm down the Israel and Gaza conflict. So I don't think Trump is holding strong to his promise of this peaceful and no new wars. I don't think this war is at all in our best interest.
No. I want to ask you both this question. What does America First actually mean to you? So MAGA claims to be, America First. But is it really? Lily, you can start.
I don't think MAGA is America First. I think we did the Make America Great Again. It's time to put America first, though. I've seen in majority of the people that still identify themselves with, the Make America Great Again, they are majority of very pro-Israel people. I don't think a pro-Israel nation is a pro-America one. You can't put another nation above your own people. And if we're going to be fighting wars for Israel, that's not going to benefit the American people. It's raising prices for Americans. Now we're looking at putting Americans on the ground. There's American soldiers dying for this war in Israel. I think America First, like I said, aligns with public interest for Americans and Americans only. And the public consensus is that we don't want to be at war with Iran.
Jared, what does America First mean to you?
So I'm gonna say something super controversial. Hopefully we don't all get canceled. I think I am on board with Lily. Honestly, talking about America First, well, talking about MAGA being really pro-Israel, I've seen it too. People always say, "Oh, well, Israel's our biggest ally, and Israel doesn't bring anything to the board." If anything, Israel wouldn't exist if it was for the United States. The Jews wouldn't be alive if America didn't jump into World War II. I think I would say MAGA's dead at this point. They don't have any political power. They don't have any political influence. If anything, it's a bunch of grifters now. I think America First truly is just people who are looking at the issues that are going on in America and realizing, why do I care about Syrians? Why do I care about the Middle East? Why should I care about the Venezuelans? It's more like, what is going on to me that my government should be looking out for? I think America First really stands for the American government putting its American citizens first and their priorities first, other than anybody else.
Yeah. So now I'm gonna play a few clips. We have one Fishback talking about this war, and then we'll also have Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Day, week, and month this war continues. It hurts my state and the people that I'm asking to give me the opportunity to represent them. We should all care about what's happening. And if you agree with Democrats that this war is reckless or disastrous, it doesn't make you a traitor to your party. It makes you a patriot to the truth.
So actually, before I play the Marjorie Taylor Greene video, what are your thoughts there, Jared?
Well, honestly, this was one of the best things I've heard politically in a really long time. Freedom Uncensored is what I represent. It's the unity of Americans. What he said, a line of believing the same thing as Democrats doesn't make you a traitor. It's what it should be. I think that the time of saying just because a Democrat said it, it's dumb, it should be over. I think it's ridiculous when people from the Republican side have a good idea and the Democrats hate it only because the Republicans said it. If there's a good idea from either side, people should be allowed to say, hey, that was a good idea. I like it. Let's do it. Parties are more division than unity, and parties cause for voices to not be spoken because their ideas aren't shared and accepted just because the other side said it and you hate the other side. So I really love what James Fishback said there. I really think that when we start to accept other people's are having good ideas, even though they don't align with our identity as a party or conservative or liberal or whatever, it really brings more unity and it gets people more centered on the issues that are important.
Yeah, we need more America First candidates, and sadly, Marjorie Taylor Greene left the fight, I believe, back in January when Trump called her a traitor. All right, let's go ahead and watch that clip. This is Marjorie Taylor Greene. She was on CNN.
Completely disagree where the president has led the country. You know what? It makes absolutely no sense, Pamela, going into midterm elections. Let's remove Donald Trump out of it. Let's just put any president in there. Why would an American president lead his political party into the midterms, waging a full-scale major war, completely unprovoked on Iran, on behalf of Israel? And that's the way most Americans see it. They see this is for Israel, not for America.
Lily, what are your thoughts there?
I think I agree with her completely. I think what we're seeing in this war is something that we very rarely see, where we have Republicans and Democrats coming together to say that this war is stupid and we don't want to be involved with it. I think Trump pulling us into a, forgive my language, but a BS war this close to midterms was probably one of the worst political decisions he could have made. And I think she said that very clear and she predicted this outcome. What we're going to see is I think Republicans are going to lose midterms because majority of the Republican Party that's moving away from the Make America Great Again stuff, who's moving more towards America First, is looking at this war and going, our president pulled us into a war for Israel. They're agreeing with the Democrats. And I think you're going to see a shift. And I think it's going to be a big shift. I think it's going to be very important for moving forward and trying to bring the two parties together, because I think we all know that the two-party system is corrupt and all our politicians are corrupt. And moving forward, I think we're going to have to move past this two thing of like, if the Democrats said it, it must be a stupid idea. If the Republicans said it must be a stupid idea, and come together to say that this is stupid and we want to put our country first.
Yeah, this is going to really impact the 2026 elections. Honestly, I think Democrats are going to win. I do. The House or the Senate, I'm not sure, but I mean, I think we're going to be seeing a big shift. The Democrats could take control. Jared?
I'm just thinking a lot. I've been doing a bit of research on this one, with what Lily said about both parties being corrupt. Um, I don't know if we'll see a shift. I honestly don't know if the Democrats will win after the midterms. Honestly, only because both parties from both sides fall under APAC, and APAC has a stronghold on both parties. And APAC does whatever it wants as the American government. And unless APAC really, got into the cracks with the Republicans, and the Republicans aren't doing what APAC wants, what the Israelis want them to do, it's going to be a shift Democrat. But so far, it seems like both parties have been really loyal to Israel, and everybody's putting a facade. Everybody's acting like they're against Israel for their votes. But at the end of the day, it's a uniparty. Everybody's talking about the uniparty. Everybody knows there's a uniparty right now. Everybody knows that behind closed doors, Democrats and Republicans are eating at the same dinner table. So it's more like whatever Israel says is what's going to happen. But I don't think at this point it's up to the people if it's shifting Democrat or Republican.
All right. And now a quick announcement.
Want to help Conservative Circle grow? Well, you can do that by scanning the QR code that you see on the screen. All donations are greatly appreciated. This goes to help get new equipment and grow the podcast even bigger. Now, let's get back to the episode.
All right. So it was great having y'all on. Next week, stay tuned as we will talk more about this war and the involvement with Israel. So great to have y'all. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
Cheers.
God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.